Thanks for joining us here on Idaho Today. The Boise Little Theater has a deep history in Boise, and this year they're celebrating their 75-year anniversary with some shows that are great for the entire family. So Melissa had the opportunity to sit down with the Boise Little Theater to learn more about their exciting 75-year anniversary and their upcoming show, 12th Night. Check it out.
This is a very significant season for the Boise Little Theater. Why is that?
Well, it's season 75, which is fairly astonishing for any theater, I think. And, you know, we've been around since 1948, which is, you know, survived through wars and, you know, everything, famines and whatever. It's just amazing that we're still existing and thriving, and it's wonderful.
Wow, so 75 years.
Yeah.
That is super exciting. Okay, and there's also a very significant physical aspect, if you will, of the Boise Little Theater that really makes it stand out. Let's talk about that.
Yes, so our theater is round, which is very fun to see as you're driving through downtown Boise. And it is a bit of a landmark, isn't it? It looks a little bit like a flying saucer.
I'd love to see it from a plane overhead, just to see what it looks like from that angle.
I like the reference of the flying saucer.
Does look like flying, yeah.
Because it's true, though, regardless if you've grown up here or if you're new to the area, it always catches your eye when you're traveling through downtown. Everyone's always like, oh, what is that?
You can tell someone, and they're like, oh, that building with the round top?
Yes.
Like, yes, that's the building.
Yes.
That's us.
Yes. Well, which is a great little conversation starter, right? And everything. Okay. So let's talk, though, about the 75th season, because a part of it is 12th Night. Right? So what makes this version so unique and special?
I love this play. It's funny, I say I'm directing 12th Night, and half the people are like, that's my favorite Shakespeare. And I think it is for a lot of people. I think it's like incredibly romantic and ridiculously silly at the same time, you know, alternating. And it has some of the best female heroines and the best comic characters. And for me, it's about finding joy in living, which I love, especially after, you know, a few years of craziness. It's just nice to have a play that affirms, you know, finding joy as you go through life and making your own experience happy. So I just love it. I think it's funny.
I love it. And you're directing this. So what do you love about tackling this project?
Well, that's it. That I think from one scene to the next, you're in this incredibly heartfelt romance where you're in love with the wrong person. So the play's a lot about falling in love with the wrong people and trying to fix that. So there's beautiful romantic moments, and then the next minute there's a silly stage fight, and there's a ridiculous, you know, little, you know, crazy clown antics. So from one minute to the next, it's a completely different play.
And why do you think, though, that today's audience would want to go?
12th Night is ever present. It is ever relevant because of a lot of those elements that Diana talked about, but it is really a comedy that explores the duality of melancholy and merriment. Many of these characters have experienced great loss and are coming into this situation carrying grief, carrying loss, carrying sadness, and finding joy in the different relationships that they explore. And it is so deeply human in its exploration of gender and sexuality and how different types of relationships fulfill our lives, whether it's love for a sibling or romantic love. You know, sometimes our lives are defined by abuse of some relationships. And so all of those elements are present, and to see how it all works itself out in the end is really so joyous.
And I think it is that. It's that sense that these characters start with loss. They think someone has died, but they're determined to make a new life for themselves and forge ahead and not give up, which I think is wonderful.
You know, and I love the fact that you use the words melancholy and merriment, right? But they're kind of reflective of our current situation, right?
Very
like
true.
There's a lot of both of that.
Very true.
And do you give up or do you move on? I think you have to keep moving on and finding joy, and that's what the play does.
Oh, I love that. Finding joy, right? What a great concept right now.
Good.
Okay, so when it comes to the Boise Little Theater, you know, we talked about the UFO shape, very significant. You're going to know where it's at. You can't miss it. You guys are on your 75th anniversary, which is incredible in itself. And then now you also have this wonderful play, The 12th Night, which I know means so much to so many. And if it's new to those, you've got to come out and watch this and be a part of this.
Absolutely.
So where do people go so they can get their tickets and they can learn more about the Boise Little Theater?
We have a great website. It's BoiseLittleTheater.org. So it has all the information about upcoming shows, upcoming auditions, really everything you would need.
Yep.
So,
You can also find us on social media.
Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram as well. There's a lot of fun behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of things that we're doing and previews of the 75th season, which we're doing a combination of something old, something new. You know, we're
the
celebrating.
whole season is wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, we're celebrating the past where we've been, but also looking forward to the future and where we're going and the wonderful community connections that this theater has. It's really, it's a season of celebration.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome.